What's up, you all? I see Top Herc already saying I'm on CP time. Welcome to another fun-filled show. I'm your host. He is Blanchard, aka Free Blanche, aka Blanstradamus, aka Christopher Colum Blanche. Christopher Colum Blanche. Oh, that's funny to me. Somebody gave me that name. Anyway, what's up, y'all? Today's title is Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf, An American Tragedy. Yes, Blanchy Smalls, I like that one too. Blanchy Smalls, I like that. Did y'all know that Biggie Smalls got his character name from a white rapper named Biggie Smalls? Did y'all know that? Did y'all know it was a white rapper named Biggie Smalls before the black Biggie Smalls? I'm going to try to find him. Yep. Here he goes right here. Yep. You know, before there was Biggie Smalls, I know, I know, I know, I know, I know, I know YouTube, I know, I know, YouTube, I know.
Friday, 3 o'clock, school bell rings and I'm clear. I give a sigh of relief, the weekend's here, so now I gotta make up again. Talk to my friends, think I wanna jump in the Benz and drive around town with the dope sound coming from the stereo on the radio. Gotta say, here we go, because I'm ready to roll, ready to hit the road, Jack. My girl is to the side, my friends are in the back. She wants to know if she can cruise all night. Well, if you want it, you got it, and now she's all excited. My boy's in the back seat, checking out the scenes. People on the corner wearing beanies and baggy jeans. I'm feeling good because my troubles are way far away. You know, we'll go to the studio another day. So come on and join us, you got nothing to lose. Kick back, relax, kick off your shoes, and just cruise.
Now, thank you, Leatherface. And Biggie stole his flow too. And I want y'all to pay attention that Biggie, Notorious B.I.G., stole this man's name and he stole his flow. So the first Biggie was white. See, I keep telling y'all that black folks been stealing their swag from white people. Everything from chitlins to rap. Everything coming from white folks. We was the first. No. This is the original Biggie Smalls right here. This is the original Biggie Smalls right here.
No need to worry, cause the night belongs to us, so don't fret, and I bet that relaxing is a must. And it's true without a clue that tonight belongs to me and you. Don't look sad, because there's no reason to feel blue. It doesn't matter which way I go, cause if it's left, right, forward, or back, it's eeny, meeny, miny, mo. The cool breeze and the trees make everything just right, and I wish it was an endless night. Now that my boys left, girl, it's just you and I together. As far as I'm concerned, we'll go and cruise forever. I love it, sit back and watch the sun go down. Enjoy the elegance, cause this is the night on the town. And I'm feeling good because my troubles are way far away. You know I'm taking care of business on another day. So come on and join us, you got nothing to lose. Kick back, relax, kick off your shoes, and just cruise.
Glad you're going my way. I love it when we're cruising together.
And even though he has a white, you know, his main chick is white, the backup dancers are black. He even got the backup dancers are black. He got the Mercedes-Benz drop top. He got the flow. He got the swag. Biggie Smalls, Notorious B.I.G., stole everything from this white guy right here. The real Biggie Smalls. And the song sounds all right, too. And the song sounds all right. I know YouTube. I know. I know YouTube. I know.
Music is played for love. Cruising is made for love. I love it when we're cruising together. Cruising, baby. Ooh, oh baby, baby. Come fly with me, yeah. Fly. So good to cruise with you, baby.
Hold up. Not only does he have backup singers, not only does he have a backup dancers, but he even has a solo backup vocal, and they all black. The dancers are black, the backup's black, everything is black. But America's racist, though. Everything is black, but America's racist. Now, Biggie Smalls came in here and culturally appropriated this young man. This young man got culturally appropriated by Puff Daddy and the Notorious B.I.G. Stole his swag, stole his flow, everything. Stole it all. This young man gets no credit for what he did.
So good to cruise with you, baby. So good, so good, so right.
It doesn't even matter that the hour's getting late, cause I'll throw in a tape just to set the mood straight. Driving a convertible is always good at night. What a sight, blue and white, as we cruise through the moonlight. When I'm with you, you know my heart is never broken. Look me deep inside the eyes and tell me if I'm joking. No, of course not, I think that I'm in love, and it's me and you alone, moving on with the moon above. So open up your heart and open up your mind. If you want it, you got it, we're floating, we're gliding. I'll whisper in your ear and never tell you any lies. Fill her up in the gas tank, but cruise till sunrise. I'm feeling good because my troubles are way far away. You know I'm taking care of business on another day. So come on and join us, you got nothing to lose. Kick back, relax, kick off your shoes, and just
You're gonna
cruise.
fly away. Glad you come my way. I love it when we're cruising together. Music is played.
Oh, y'all didn't see him, though. Y'all didn't see what he did. So he gave the little black boy dap at the gas station, saw the little black chick. Now he in the car with the black chick. So he done ditched the white chick. Now he in the car with the black chick. Now listen, and you can't say he ain't got no swag. You can't say he don't have swag now. Listen, he macking now. Don't say he ain't macking. Do not say this man is not macking.
Cruising is made for love. I love it when we're cruising together. You're gonna fly away. Glad you come my way. I love it.
Hold up. My bad. He kept the white chick and he got the black chick, so he got both. So you see he got both. I love it when you call me Big Pop. Yeah. No. He the real player right here. This guy right here. What's his name? Biggie Smalls. He's the real Mac. Biggie took this man's whole swag. That man in mid-video got another chick and then brought them both together. And they both got their real hair. I said it. And both of them got their real hair.
When we're cruising together. Music is played for love. Cruising is made for love. Say it one more time.
So y'all saw it. Y'all saw it. took the real Biggie Small whole swag. Puff Daddy and Biggie took his whole swag. This man is responsible for Bad Boy Records. He's responsible for Biggie. He's responsible for Junior Mafia. He's responsible for it all. This man, this white boy right here. And he showed y'all how to Mac in the video. And he showed y'all how to Mac, have you a chick, get you another chick, and then bring them both together. So you saw him heal race relations in the video. So not only did he have the swag, he had the cars, he had the flow, he had the outfits, he had the backup singers, he had the dancers, he had the women, but he also found a way to bring the races together. He's a true pioneer, Biggie Smalls. He's the true pioneer. Not Puffy, not Notorious B.I.G., not Junior Mafia, not none of them, him. All that happened in one video, cruising. No drugs, no alcohol, none of that. Just cruising with some ladies in a drop top Benz. Then he flipped the Benz and got him looked like a BMW. Went to the, man, come on. They ruined this man's career. So, the title of today's show is Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf and American Tragedy. Yeah, Biggie had the trans in that one song, his first song. They slid a transgender in his first single. What was the first single? What was Biggie Small's first single? It was in that video. It was all a dream. I used to read word. Yeah, that song. It's a trans in that song. It might have been Big. Whatever his first single was. No, not One More Chance. Juicy. That's what it was. It was Juicy. Leatherface. Thank you, Leatherface. It was Juicy. I'm sorry, y'all. I should know that. But anyway, so here go my thoughts on the Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf situation. Then I'm going to play some videos. When I'm responding to things, I'm responding to the intent. I'm responding to the intent behind what is being done, not what is being said. What is the intent behind what is being said? What is the intent behind what is being done? That's what I address. Now, when it came to this Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf situation, there's one, you know what? You know what? Give me 1 second, y'all. Because, give me 1 second, y'all. Hold on. I gotta, because I know I'm missing one video I wanted to play. Actually, a few. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. Give me 1 second, y'all. But oh man, I'm sorry, y'all, because I totally forgot. I totally forgot. Thank you, though. So my thoughts on the situation is that from the outside looking in, it is a tragedy, obviously, because a young man lost his life and a young man took his life. And so there are no winners in this situation. Now, the issue I have is people acting like what conservatives are saying is not legitimate about Black culture. That's my issue, is that people are acting like Black culture isn't a problem. And so what this is all about is for Black people to not be in the wrong. The intent behind this isn't justice. It isn't getting down to what's right or what's wrong. It's not about the law, not about self-defense. This entire thing is fueled by Black people not wanting to be in the wrong. So the intent behind what is being done is for Black people to come out on top. That is the entire intent. I'm just getting this right now. And I want y'all to know something right now. I'm not going to try to make a point at the expense of my character. So I'm not going to make a point just to be right. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be honest and forthright. I'm not going to cheat. If I think it's wrong, I think it's wrong. If I think it's right, I think it's right. In this situation, I don't believe that Carmelo Anthony did not plan on using the knife. I'm not saying he planned on using it that day. I'm saying when he got into the altercation with the young men, the knife was popped in his head. Guaranteed. I'm not saying this young man woke up and said, I'm going to stab somebody today. I don't believe that. But I do believe when he was confronted with an altercation, that knife popped in his head and he had a choice. He said, I cannot use this knife or I can use this knife. Now, what I find disingenuous about all of this is Black people are acting like they are sticking up for the victim. Black people are now telling us that they are advocates for when people put their hands on them, they should be able to use deadly force. It's what Black folks are saying, right? So my question is, when the police say they fear for their life, why don't y'all accept it? When the police say we are in fear for our life, which is why we use deadly force, why don't y'all accept it? Now, Carmelo Anthony's case is going to be, I fear for my life. Same thing the police say. I fear for my safety. So how do you understand it for Carmelo Anthony, but you don't understand it for the police? The police have a legal right to do what they're doing, which is upholding the law. Carmelo Anthony doesn't have a legal right to be carrying a knife on school property at a school track meet. And this is what Black folks love to do. Black people believe that if the other party is wrong in any way, it absolves them of all responsibility. So in other words, because Austin Metcalf, I'm assuming they said he possibly grabbed his bag or he grabbed him, because he did that, then that absolves Carmelo Anthony from being at a track meet with a knife. You have not heard any Black people say that that boy was wrong for even having a knife in the first place. And so to me, it's disingenuous because the carnage that takes place in the Black community is silence when it happens. Carmelo Anthony stabs Austin Metcalf, and now you all are defense attorneys. Any other time, black people are slaughtering black people in the streets. Slaughtering in the most horrific and heinous way, and black people are silent. No marches, no protests, no going to politicians, no nothing. And it happens every single day in the black community, even to the point where innocent bystanders are being killed from the violence. Innocent bystanders are being shot. Babies, I dare you to go look up how many black children get shot each year from stray bullets. I dare you to go look up how many black children are in their bed asleep and a bullet hits them in the head. Or how many black children in the house playing and a bullet hits them in the head at the park. I dare you to go look it up and tell me one time black people were this outraged at an innocent baby being shot. In Atlanta, the one little girl got shot. The dude came out of Phipps Plaza shooting his gun up in the air, and a bullet hit the little girl in the back seat. Then Keisha Lance Bonds was allowing these black people to shut down that Wendy's area and have their own little area. And guess who ended up getting shot and killed? A child. They walking around with AR-15s and Dracos and all this, and somebody ended up getting killed. No outrage. But you mean to tell me, because this black young man killed this white young man, now you all want to have a voice? I reject it. I reject the intent behind what you all are doing. What you all are doing is ungodly and is unrighteous. I dare you to go look up how many innocent black people get slaughtered in these streets every day, and y'all don't say a word about it. I reject it. I reject everything you all are saying because the intent behind it is ungodly. Because the intent behind it is you being in the right. Y'all aren't even saying they both wrong. Y'all ain't even saying it's a tragedy. Y'all are trying to jump on the bandwagon of conservatives and what they said. Like these conservatives haven't been getting demonized in the media for the past 10 years. Conservative, white Christian conservatives have been getting demonized in the media for the past 10 years. They've watched you all cut up for the past 10 years. You all do the most heinous and horrific crimes and you blame them. And then you act like black culture isn't violent. You act like black culture isn't dangerous. But as soon as y'all get some money, you got to leave the hood because they're going to kill you. Isn't that crazy? You run around here, all these protests, all these marches, all these speeches, all this, Carmelo Anthony, free him, all this. But when you get some money, you have to leave the environment. When you get something good, you got to hide it. If you're in a white neighborhood and somebody comes by your house when you're not home, I guarantee those white neighbors are going to tell you. If you are in a white neighborhood and somebody comes by your house and they're around your house snooping and meddling, I guarantee your white neighbors are going to tell you. In the black community, they done stole your whole house and nobody saw nothing. In the black community, they done broke in and stole your whole house and nobody saw nothing. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. The intent behind the support for Carmelo Anthony is ungodly. You all can talk about white conservatives all you want. But what you cannot deny is black culture. That's what you can't deny. So we can just get rid of white conservatives. We can get rid of Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf, and black culture is still there. We can remove all of this, and black culture is still there. And you have no solution for it. Zero. Is somebody dying right now in the black community? Is somebody getting shot right now in the black community? Think about that. Think about, as I'm talking to you right now, somebody is being killed in the black community. Think about that. Think about, as I'm talking to you right now, somebody's being robbed in the black community right now. Somebody's being kidnapped. Somebody's being tortured. Somebody's being extorted. Think about what I'm telling you. Right now, we're talking. No outrage. No outrage. It's a tragic case of two young men that made a poor choice. And now one is dead and one's life will be forever affected. They're going to give Carmelo Anthony a light sentence. They are. And guess what? You know who's going to do him in? Black culture. That girl that lied, the Mangum girl, I think Christina Mangum, that lied on those Duke players, lacrosse players. She ended up killing somebody, her boyfriend. Think about that. Think about her lying on those boys, and in the end result, she goes to prison for murder. I keep telling you, black people, I don't care what they talk about on social media and politicians and all that. You're going to reap what you sow. I don't care what they tell you. You are going to reap what you sow. You're not going to escape it. So my opinion, the media's opinion, the lawyers, the judge, it don't matter. You're going to reap it. Nobody is going to stand in the way of you sowing and you reaping. Trust me. And you're going to pay. And you're going to pay. But let's get started. Let's get started.
I don't care the age, the skin color, the ethnicity, whatever. No one has a right to lay hands on someone because you want them to move. That's not your child. You're not the police. I don't care. So yeah, let's call it the hypocrisy. So if that's how you feel, let's just admit that you're a libtard and you're a racist. You're a racist because you have to be racist because your logic is inconsistent. It's inconsistent. It doesn't make any sense. So just admit you're a libtard and you're no different than the BLM warriors in 2020. Y'all the same exact people. You're just doing it from a white point of view. Y'all are a bunch of libtards with this emotional agenda trying to mask it as if it's logic or something. You're no different than a libtard. You're like you're stupid. You're emotionally manipulated by the media. Okay, to the point where you literally you can't see past race. You can't see past race because I am 100% certain all of y'all would be arguing self-defense if a black kid who was 6 feet, 200 pounds went up to a white kid and tried to move him out of his seat and got stabbed. Y'all would be arguing it was self-defense. I know this, and I'm gonna tell y'all how I know this later on.
So that's starring Amber, and she gave her take, and she said that the media has the conservatives feeling this way. Now, we can agree that the media is on the side of Carmelo Anthony. And I try to explain this to her that when the media reports something, if Metcalf had stabbed Anthony, the media would have said white student stabs and kills black student, because the precedent's already set. So the media would have framed it white student kills black student, and y'all would do the rest. But what the media does when it's the reverse, when it's somebody black killing someone white, it says student stabs other student. Student stabs student in altercation. You see the difference? Now, most black folks don't even notice that. That little subtle nuance I just said, most black folks don't even see that. They don't even realize that the media, how they even report, is biased. For example, they're not going to say armed suspect shot by police during pursuit. They're going to say police kill another black man. You see the difference? The media already shapes your opinion of what's being told to you. They don't give you an objective or unbiased view of what's going on. So when this story was reported, the story didn't say black student kills white student. It didn't say that. And so again, white Christian conservatives have been getting demonized in the media for the past at least 10 years. At least. They've gotten on TV numerous of times and said the most dangerous threat to America is not a terrorist, it's not ISIS, it's not Al-Qaeda, it's not China, it's not Russia. The greatest threat to it, not North Korea, it's not any country with a nuclear weapon. The greatest threat to America is domestic terrorism caused by white Christian males. That's been said a lot of times on mass media. Not one time has a black person stood up and said, that's wrong. Not one time has Starring Amber got up and said, that's wrong. Maybe she has, I don't know. Maybe she has. But you haven't seen anybody that's black with a platform say, this demonizing of white people is wrong. So let me get this straight. You're quiet about that, but then when this happens, they can't speak out.
Nobody, I don't care the age, the skin color, the ethnicity, whatever. No one has a right to lay hands on someone because you want them to move. That's not your child. You're not the police. I don't care. So yeah, let's call it the hypocrisy. So if that's how you feel, let's just admit that you're a libtard and you're a racist. You're a racist because you have to be racist because your logic is inconsistent. It's inconsistent. It doesn't make any sense. So just admit you're a libtard and you're no different than the BLM warriors in 2020. Y'all the same exact people. You're just doing it from a white point of view. Y'all are a bunch of libtards with this emotional agenda trying to mask it as if it's logic or something. You're no different than a libtard. You're like you're stupid. You're emotionally manipulated by the media. Okay, to the point where you literally you can't see past race. You can't see past race because I am 100% certain all of y'all would be arguing self-defense if a black kid who was 6 feet, 200 pounds went up to a white kid and tried to move him out of his seat and got stabbed. Y'all would be arguing it was self-defense. I know this, and I'm gonna tell y'all how I know this later on.
So let me say this too. Let me say this. Yes, I heard that Carmelo Anthony's family is getting death threats. But why wouldn't they get death threats? We've seen this playbook too many times. When the black person's in the wrong, all of a sudden now death threats are coming. That's why I'm glad that Casually Conservative have been posting all these fake race hoaxes, because I know how this thing works. Conservatives don't send death threats. You know what conservatives do? When the country is shut down, they get their rifles in their pickup trucks and they go surround the capitals, open the country back up. That's what conservatives do. Sending death threats, letters, and emails, that's what liberals do. That's a liberal tactic. Conservatives show up. They're bold. They don't hide behind letters and keyboards. That's what liberals do. So if he's getting death threats, I guarantee it's coming from the left. I guarantee it. And I bet it's some lame death threats. We're going to string you up with a noose. We're going to get you, coon. Just lame. I guarantee those death threats are just so remedial and lame. It's just like the KKK gonna type up a letter and put it in everybody black's mailbox. It's ridiculous. That is not what conservatives do. Far right people don't send letters. They just go out and do a public display. The far right people, they just go out and make a public display. They don't have to hide. So again, if he's getting death threats, Mr. Anthony and his family, I guarantee it's coming from the left. Mass shooters are not conservatives. They're not Christian white. If you look up any mass shooter, they're liberal. There was one guy that was a mass shooter in Europe. I did a video on this, and the guy said, I did this mass shooting because I knew, this is what he said, I knew that the American media would blame Trump. And it worked. Now imagine this guy going to commit a mass shooting, or he was in Europe, maybe a mass bombing, maybe, or shoot, I forgot. But the guy literally said, I did this knowing the American media would demonize Donald Trump because the guy didn't like Trump. He was a liberal. Excuse me. Anybody making other people suffer for what they got going on is a liberal. That is a liberal way of thinking. Blaming somebody else for something is liberal. And again, it's a tragedy. It's a tragedy. This young man lost his life, and this other young man's life will be affected forever. But what I want people to understand is somebody putting their hands on you, and I want to be clear with this. Somebody putting their hands on you doesn't mean you get to kill them. Somebody putting their hands on you does not mean you get to kill them. You can run away. You can yell for help. If he was so afraid, if this young man was walking around and he felt that he needed a knife, then why would he go to the track meet in the first place? How can you focus on a track meet and you feel your life is in danger? How can you go to school and focus and you feel your life is in danger? Did he tell his mother? Did he tell his coach? Did he tell the trainer? Did he tell his friends? Did he tell his teacher? Did he tell his principal? Did he tell the pastor? Who did he let know that he was in fear for his life? Who did he let know that he was in fear for his life? And if you're so afraid, then why are you up under somebody else's tent? Why aren't you in the bathroom hiding? Why aren't you at home under the covers? Why are you out in public if you are so afraid? I'll tell you why. Because you know if somebody bothers you, you're going to use your knife. If I'm going somewhere and I feel that I need my gun and I have a license to carry, if I go somewhere and I feel like I need my gun, guess what? I'm not going to go. If I'm going somewhere and I feel that I need my gun, I'm not going to go. So if this young man was that afraid for his life that he felt he needed to use deadly force, then somebody should have knew. His mother should be on TV right now saying he was afraid. Why aren't any of the adults saying that Carmelo Anthony feared for his life? Why is nobody saying that? Why is no adult saying that this young man was afraid and this is what he told me? This is the pattern. Why? He was afraid enough to use deadly force, yet not afraid enough to tell somebody. It doesn't make any sense. You all want me to believe that he was getting jumped by two people punching on him, two big old 250-pound athletes punching him, beating him up, and he manages, while he's getting punched and beat up, to dig in his bag, punched and beat up, 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 punched and beat up. Y'all you telling me? You telling me he getting beat on, he not blocking, because you can't block and grab a knife. You can't do both. We can agree with it. You can't do both because he only got two arms. So you can't block and grab. So you mean to tell me he's just eating punches, getting his bag, grabbing his knife, eating punches, staying conscious, eating punches, staying conscious, eating punches. Ah! Y'all believe that? Y'all believe that? Who believes that? Let's play a game. How stupid can we be today? Who believes that? Who believes he was getting physically beat on by two big athletes and he was able to get that knife out and do a stab directly to the heart? Who believes it? No defensive wounds. Nobody punched the knife. No nothing. No laceration on nobody. Nothing. Just one clean shot. Is he Jason Bourne? Is he James Bond? And I'm not even saying that that boy woke up ready to stab someone. I'm not saying that. I'm saying when he said, "Put your hands on me," he planned on stabbing. That's my point. That's like me going somewhere and I got a gun on me and I tell somebody, "I dare you to touch me." That's a threat. That's like me going somewhere and I tell somebody, "I dare you to touch me." They touch me and I kill them. That is a threat. Daring somebody to touch you is you saying, "I'm going to hurt you if you put your hands on me." You're not saying, "I don't want any problems. I don't want any problems. Leave me alone. Get away from me." Or I walk away. I'm saying, "I'm standing here. I dare you to touch me. Cross this line. I dare you." It's not self-defense. Self-defense is the only recourse you had was to take somebody's life. That's self-defense. They left me no other choice. That's self-defense. There is no way, right? JLA 9 times 40. There's no way all those people under that tent was going to allow them boys just to beat that boy. It's not going to happen. We know that. Nobody stepped in to break it up. I'm going to say what I've been saying. Black people lie. They lie. And you can get mad that I'm saying that. Black people lie. They lie. Blanche, you don't know. They lie.
Anthony, from the beginning, has continued to display his self-defense claim. And I believe that in America, I always tell this, and I'm just going to speak truth to power in this situation. It is crazy that America tells us to accept the self-defense claim of George Zimmerman, Kyle Rittenhouse, and so many other people. But when the shoe is on the other foot, that claim is absurd. And I just got to call a spade a spade. No matter what my personal views of a case may be, it is quite contradicting for America to come back and say, oh, Kyle Rittenhouse can have it, George Zimmerman can have it, all of these individuals that don't look like the color of my skin can't have it. In the state of Texas, we live in a state where yet you can walk around with the permitless carry, you can walk around with a brass knuckles, you can walk around with a knife, you can walk around with all these things. AK-47 in the state of Texas. And then as soon as you see a black person exercise those rights, we now have a problem. And that's not me spitting hate or race or bigotry. That's the facts.
So he mentioned George Zimmerman and he mentioned Carmelo Anthony. I'm going to say this. I remember when Michael Brown got killed by the police officer. And I remember being like, man, that's messed up. Until I heard his cousin speak. His cousin said, we were walking in the middle of the street. And the police car drove up and told us to get out of the street and use the sidewalk. And his next statement was, we were about to, but then he backed up. I said, there we go right there. You see, one thing I know is that the black community has a problem with authority. And when you have a problem with authority, you really have a problem with order and structure and rules. When you have a problem with order, structure, and rules, you really have a problem with accountability. And that's what it boils down to. You see, Michael Brown and his cousin were walking in the middle of the street, but they know that's wrong. You're supposed to be on the sidewalk. Think about that. Think about something so simple. Now, Michael Brown had just robbed the liquor store. He stole, I think he stole some drink and a Black and Miles or whatever. But Michael Brown had just robbed the liquor store. And this is why I stress bad behavior. Because bad behavior makes you believe that there is no consequence. So when you have a culture that is founded on bad behavior, the result is going to be death. American Man said, when you have a problem with authority, you have a problem with men. True. So the end result of Michael Brown and his cousin being in the middle of the street was Michael Brown being shot. And Michael Brown tried to grab the officer's gun. Just moments before, he had just punched somebody out at the liquor store. So what I'm telling you all is, where there's smoke, there's fire. They want you to believe this stuff. It's not random. You are going to reap what you sow. So at the end of the day, these people want this young man, Carmelo Anthony, to get off scot-free. That's what they're asking for. No jail time. Because they're saying if it was on the other foot, the white person would get off. Derek Chauvin's knee was not on George Floyd's neck. And even if it was, a knee being on your neck does not prevent you from breathing. How do we know? Because George Floyd was yelling out to his white girlfriend. Derek Chauvin's knee was on George Floyd's shoulder blades. And what happened to Derek Chauvin? The only thing that saved Richard Penny, is the witnesses. Is the witnesses saying that we feared for our life. That's the only thing that saved him. They tried every richer way to get Richard Penny. And the only thing that saved him was the people saying we were afraid for our lives. Now, when it comes to Kyle Rittenhouse, is this guy trying to tell you that Kyle Rittenhouse and George Zimmerman got away with it? Let me say this about George Zimmerman. The police told George Zimmerman to not pursue, and he was in the wrong. He should have followed police instructions, and it is what it is. Trayvon would have did what he was going to do, and Zimmerman would have did what he was going to do. But George Zimmerman decided to engage Trayvon Martin. And Trayvon Martin started whooping him. Now, in black people's minds, if Trayvon Martin is whooping Zimmerman, getting the best of him, Zimmerman shouldn't be able to shoot him. This is the black logic. Black people said Trayvon Martin beat him up, but he deserved it because the police told him not to pursue. So he deserved to get beat up. But Trayvon Martin doesn't deserve to get shot. Metcalf puts his hands on Carmelo Anthony. Now you all are saying that he deserves to get killed, though. So Trayvon Martin didn't deserve to get killed, but now Metcalf deserves to get killed. In this situation, Trayvon Martin is wrong, George Zimmerman is wrong. In this case, Karmelo is wrong, Austin is wrong. In both cases, both parties are wrong. But in one case, you want the person getting beat up to just get beat up. And in the other case, you want the guy getting beat up to be able to kill somebody. What's the difference? The difference is when it's the black person, you want them to be absolved no matter which side they're on. Whether they're the aggressor, whether they're the antagonist, it don't matter. You want them to get off against anybody that's non-black. Now, if George Zimmerman was black, y'all wouldn't care. If Austin was black, y'all wouldn't care. But you only care because they're not black. But let me guess, the conservatives made it about race. Y'all only care because they're white, but the conservatives made it about race. Yeah, right. Trayvon Martin should have never engaged George Zimmerman. He should have said, I'm getting my father, anything. The fact that Trayvon Martin engaged George Zimmerman lets you know he was a problem child. My mother taught me, you don't deal with adults, I do. So if an adult confronts you, you come and get me. That's how my mother raised me. So if I was arguing with an adult, my mom would be upset because it never should happen. My mom would have said, why were you arguing with an adult? This is how I know that Trayvon Martin was disobedient. Bad behavior. Not an angel. So the fact that he engaged George Zimmerman let me know that his path in his life was not going to end up well. Because he should have gone and got his father. If Carmelo Anthony felt so afraid, he should have told somebody. And if Austin Metcalf was so angered by him being under the tent, he should have told somebody. But to say that conservatives are making this about race is a lie. The media made this about race 100 years ago. The media has made this about race since the beginning. This is nothing new. Kyle Rittenhouse was being chased by a guy that said he was going to kill him. And he shot him. The guy chased him, told everybody, I'm about to go kill him. Chased him. Listen to me. Kyle Rittenhouse ran from the threat. That's what you do when you're afraid. You run from the threat. Kyle Rittenhouse ran from the threat with an AR-15 in his hand. He still ran. You know why? Because he didn't want to shoot somebody. That's how you act when you don't want to kill. You run even though you got the weapon. Then Kyle Rittenhouse encountered a guy in the street that was beating him with a skateboard. So now we done got chased. I ran from that. I got chased. I shot him. Now I'm scared trying to tell somebody I just shot somebody over there. Then I get hit, knocked to the ground with a dude beat me with a skateboard. So guess what? I got to shoot him. Then another guy pulls a gun out, and the guy testified in court that he was about to shoot Kyle Rittenhouse. And so Kyle Rittenhouse shot him in the arm he was holding the gun in. That's what happened with Kyle Rittenhouse. That they're trying to compare that to this. All these black folks wanted Kyle Rittenhouse to die. This is why I'm telling you, the black outrage in this case is unrighteous. Because their black folks want to be right. They don't care about who dies. They want to be right. They don't care about what life is lost, what life is affected. Black people want to be right. It's a black person right now getting shot, getting stabbed, getting drugged, getting kidnapped, getting tortured, getting burned, getting ran over. It's somebody black getting something heinous done to them right now as I'm talking, getting their life taken in the worst way, and black people are silent on it. But y'all got so much to say about Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf. I reject it. It's ungodly. It's unrighteous. You all's intent is not justice. You all's intent is not what's right. You all's intent is not the truth. You all's intent is to be right. James 2, verse 9. But if ye have respect to persons, ye commit sin and are convinced of the law as transgressors. James 2 and 9. So when y'all black people do all this picking and choosing, when you want to do this, when you want to do that, you already in sin. The picking and choosing already means you're in sin. So the moment you say they can do it, but they can't do it, you already in sin. You already in sin. No respect to persons means I'm judging righteously. And y'all try to put it on me. I don't judge unrighteously. I'm not saying because he's white, he's right. Because he's black, he's wrong. I'm looking at a young man that took a knife to a track meet. And I'm going to say it again. If he was so afraid, then where are all the adults saying he told us this? Why hasn't his coach come forward? Why hasn't his mother come forward? Why isn't anybody corroborating him being in fear of his life? No adult. No adult has come forward and said, you know what? Yeah, he told me this. School counselor ain't said, we got a paper trail. No meeting with the principal, nothing. So we go from none of that to you stabbing somebody to death. It's kind of hard for me to believe that it wasn't premeditated. Doug Johnson said, where's Carmelo's bruise? Y'all told me he got beat on. No marks. And then after he stabbed him, he ran away and ditched the murder weapon. After he stabbed him, he ran away and ditched the murder weapon. But Blanche, he was scared. Blanche, he was scared. Doug said he had got suspended for carrying a knife before. Let's look it up. Let's look it up real quick. Let's look it up. Let's look it up. Let me see. One witness told an officer that they were sitting with Metcalf under their school's tent during a track meet at the stadium when someone they didn't know, identified as Anthony, came over to them. The witness said that Metcalf told Anthony to leave the tent when Anthony grabbed his bag and opened it, reached inside and said, touch me and see what happens. The police document said no one thought Anthony had a weapon. One witness said that Metcalf touched Anthony. Another said Metcalf grabbed Anthony. Anthony then put out a knife and stabbed Metcalf once in the chest before running away, according to police. At that point, Metcalf grabbed his chest and told everyone to get help, one witness said. Another officer said that Anthony complied with them and said he was protecting himself, according to the affidavit. Once the officer said, I have the alleged suspect in custody, Anthony told the officer, I'm not alleged, I did it. He also told the police that Metcalf put his hands on him after he told him not to. While he was in the police vehicle, an officer reported that Anthony asked if Metcalf was going to be okay and if what happened could be considered self-defense. I'm trying to find where he was suspended before for that knife. Somebody said on Reddit he's already been suspended from school. Let me see. Suspended from... Yeah, I don't see where he was. Yeah, I don't see it. You all, I'm sorry, I don't see it. I'll look for it when I get done. But, and again, I don't believe that Carmelo Anthony, I don't believe that he woke up and said, I'm about to kill somebody today. But I believe when he saw an opportunity to use that knife, he took it. The witness said that he came over to Metcalf. Now, you know, the black version is Metcalf and his brother saw him. Black version is Metcalf and his brother rode in on horses with shotguns and a noose and a KKK outfit on. They rode up there, they burnt the cross on the track, and then ran over there and started whipping them with the black version is crazy. But don't worry about it. In court, it's going to come out. It's going to come out in court. I think he'll take a plea deal, though. It's going to come out in court, though. Bo Brown said the skipping school that day and previously bringing a knife to school was leaked to local news by someone. Listen, when you stab somebody in the chest, when you're carrying a knife, you already engage in bad behavior. So that's a given. You already engage in bad behavior. Even to tell somebody, touch me and find out, or touch me and see what I'll do, you already engage in bad behavior. Kyle Rittenhouse was afraid. They had to chase him. That's fear. You approaching somebody isn't fear. You digging in your bag saying that's not fear. That's antagonizing. Because you know you have an advantage. But let's continue. Let's continue. You know what? Matter of fact, let me go to and again, this is a tragic event and it's horrible, but what black people are doing is unrighteous and it's ungodly.
Follow-up video to one I dropped the other day entitled Black Conservative Defends Carmelo Anthony. White conservatives lose their minds. Now, in that video, I was reacting to fellow content creator Anthony Brian Logan, ABL, black conservative media personality, and he was giving his thoughts and reactions on the entire Austin Metcalf Carmelo Anthony situation. And he had shocked a lot of people, including many members of his audience, because he actually decided to sit back and examine the situation, and he didn't automatically jump with the narrative that was set from day one. Even before we had all the information, you had many white conservative bloggers and media personalities that had already set an agenda. The white victim and the black aggressor, right? The innocent church boy, the all-American football star was minding his business, going to the ice cream truck, and then the black savage jumped out the bushes and stabbed him in the chest, right? That was a narrative set from day one. And they used that narrative to indict the entire race of black men. So black men in Ghana, black men in Senegal, black men in Brooklyn, black men in Jamaica, black men in Alaska. The entire race of black men was indicted because of a false narrative that was set from day one. And as we got more information, we actually realized that the narrative that they set, the white victim and the black aggressor, it was deeper than that, right? We actually found out that the victim, unfortunately, he was the one that initiated the altercation, the verbal altercation, and then escalated it to a physical altercation, which unfortunately led to him being neutralized. But anyway, so we have Tim Pool, right? Tim Pool.
And see, what they aren't telling everybody is that Metcalf and his brother were already under the tent. See, so the way they're telling it is that they came and confronted him. They were already there. They're leaving that part out. So what I'm saying is that these Metcalf boys didn't go to Carmelo Anthony's tent. They were at their tent. They didn't go looking for him. So let's listen to Tim Pool real quick. And this guy talking is obligatory.
Prominent conservative media personality. Now, I'm not all the way familiar with Tim Pool. Of course, I know the name. I know he has a massive audience. But, you know, like I stay in my own lane. I stay in my own zone. So I don't be going into these different neighborhoods and things like that. So
strictly bliggity, strictly victim, strictly weak. You know, listen, when a black man says that, it's all bliggity. It's all bliggity babble.
But Tim Pool, I know he's a big deal. Now, earlier today, he was on social media and he said this.
Arrest report. The victim, Austin, and the suspect, who was later identified as Carmelo Anthony, was from Centennial High School and was sitting under the Memorial School tent. Now, we already have conflicting stories about this because one witness said Carmelo Anthony went underneath their tent, which he actually did go to their tent. Austin had told Anthony that he needed to move out from under their team's tent, and Anthony grabbed his bag, opened it, and reached inside and proceeded to tell Austin, touch me and see what happens. So, again, these young men are 17 years old in high school. I don't know where y'all grew up. I don't know how y'all grew up. I'm going to say that normally, when it comes to athletes, if somebody says, touch me and see what happens, somebody gonna do it. I want you to think about this exchange between two children. They 17 years old. Y'all know how this game works. I tell you, get out from under our tent. You tell me, make me. Those are fighting words. Those are fighting words. Now, I know black folks want to be stupid and dumb and be ignorant, but black folks know more than anybody how words can get somebody shot. What's up, blood? What's up, cuz? So black folks should know how powerful these words are. Because black folks kill over what's up. Gang after that. What's up, blood? What's up, cuz? Then got thousands upon thousands of black men stretched out. So black people know more than anybody what saying, touch me and see what happens means. Those are fighting words. We're not going to play dumb. We're not going to play stupid because I want to be emotional. Once he put his hand in his bag and told that boy to touch him, it's premeditated. You know why? Because you know he's going to do it. Because you know he's going to do it. That's like me going to somebody saying, man, I dare you to touch me. And you got your gun, hand on your gun waiting for him. That's a setup. That's called entrapment. Remember the bait cars? They'll put the car in the hood, leave it unlocked with the keys in it. They call it entrapment. I put the dope on the side of the school when you walk by and grab it. That's called entrapment. It's the same thing. You know how I am, and you're going to say, well, I dare you to touch me, knowing I'm going to touch you. And then you kill me. And then black folks are saying, man, he was on the run. You can't put your hands on nobody, kid. Keep your hand to yourself. Keep your hand to... But meanwhile, what's up, blood? What's up, cuz? Getting millions killed. Hundreds of thousands of black men have been killed off of what's up, blood? What's up, cuz? But now you can say, I dare you to touch me and it's good. It's cool. Black people are the biggest hypocrites known to man. You know good and well it's a setup. If I'm an attorney, I'm going to ask him, well, if you were so afraid, why don't you leave the tent? If you were so afraid of them, why'd you go to their tent? I'm sure there's multiple tents around the track meet. Why'd you go to their tent? If you're so afraid of them, why are you even on that vicinity? Why don't you underneath the bleachers? Why don't you go in the bathroom? Why don't you go to your own team's tent? Why did you go to their tent if you were so afraid? If I'm a lawyer, I'm going to ask him, why did you go to their tent? You say they're bullying you, you're afraid of them, all of these things, then why'd you go to that tent? It don't make any sense. I'll tell you why you went. Because you had that knife. Without that knife, do you all believe he would have went to their tent? Yes or no? Does anybody believe that Carmelo Anthony would have gone to their tent if he did not have the knife? So if we believe that he would not have gone to the tent if he didn't have the knife, then that means he only went to the tent because he had the knife. If he didn't have the knife, he would never went to the tent. This is why it's premeditated. Because that knife made you alter your normal actions. Your normal actions would be to avoid them. But with the knife, you don't want to avoid them anymore. That's why it's premeditated. That's why it's premeditated. You know, growing up in the hood, when somebody had a gun on them, they acted totally different. When I was growing up in the hood, when somebody had a gun on them, they whole dialogue changed. Man, what's up, man? I wish somebody would try me today. I wish somebody would get wrong today. I dare somebody get wrong today. I dare somebody. Y'all know, if y'all grew up in the hood, y'all know. Because y'all know when somebody got that gun, they talk totally different. They act different. They walking different. Dare somebody do something. Looking, mugging people. Y'all know. Y'all know. I'm going to start over. The victim, Austin, and the suspect, who was later identified as Carmelo Anthony, was from Centennial High School and was sitting under the Memorial High School tent. Austin had told Anthony that he needed to move out from under their tent, and Anthony grabbed his bag, opened it, and reached inside and proceeded to tell Austin, touch me and see what happens. No one really thought Anthony really had a weapon in his bag, and Austin proceeded to touch Anthony, and Anthony told Austin to punch him and see what happens. A short time later, Austin grabbed Anthony to tell him to move, and Anthony pulled out what blank recalled as a black knife and stabbed at Austin once in the chest and ran away. So again, there was nobody being jumped. So let's go ahead and just kill, no pun, I'm sorry. Let's go ahead and get rid of it. He didn't get jumped. So let's get rid of that jumping story, that he didn't get jumped. Throw it out the way. And not known Anthony's name, but stated another memorial track. Let me start over. Blank recalled as a black knife and stabbed Austin once in the chest and then ran away. Austin began grabbing his chest and telling everyone to get help. Blank advised he did not know Anthony's name, but stated another memorial track member, blank blank, was friends with Anthony and he could identify Anthony. Described Anthony as a black male, skinny with possibly a goatee, short puffy hair, and wearing Centennial High School clothing. This concluded my contact with blank. I then was instructed to start a crime scene log. I retrieved the crime scene log from my patrol vehicle and began starting the crime scene log. I was later relieved by Officer Shalaz, who took over the crime scene log, and I cleared the scene. Nothing further attached to the original report. So we know, based on the police report, that he was not jumped and that Austin Metcalf did not know him. This is what the police report says. So this is what Tim Pool is using. So we just read the police report. Metcalf, now do you think Metcalf, if he was stabbed in the chest, wouldn't say that's Karmelo? Now do you think if this man being stabbed in the chest, bleeding out, is not going to say that's Karmelo? He said, I don't know him. So do you think he knew him? If he's bleeding from his chest and he ain't saying that's Karmelo that stabbed me, he said, I don't know him because he didn't know him. The person from Karmelo's team had to identify Karmelo. So that means that Karmelo's brother didn't know him either. Because the police report says that he had to be identified by his team member, not these twins. Now, we see that Carmelo Anthony told him once, let's go to the police report. He said, touch me and see what happens. Then he told Austin to punch me and see what happens. So now he said, touch me and see what happens. Then he says, punch me and see what happens. What does that sound like? What does that sound like? And again, this is high school students. These are athletes. This is normal. This is normal high school behavior. It's normal. You got rivalries, even in track. You got rivalries in sports. It happens all the time. This is normal. This is normal for kids to be rivals. It's normal. They're playing sports. Black people are soft and dumb. As many high school sporting events that get shot up, as many black people, high school sporting events that get shot up, and y'all can't understand rivalries? Y'all can't understand not wanting to consort with the person you competing against? Y'all don't understand that? Dear black people, as many high school students get shot at a sporting event, y'all don't understand how high schoolers have rivalries? You know, I played sports. You know, in certain sports, you had to get on the bus real quick because that's going to jump you. This is at black schools. You used to play some black schools and get up out of there, that's going to jump you. If you play some black teams in high school and you beat them, they wanted to fight. You play some black teams in high school and you beat them, they are ready to fight if they lose. They're ready to fight you. You got to get police escorts to the bus. What are we talking about? This happens all the time in high school sports. He told Metcalf, first he said, put your hands on me and find out. Then he said, I dare you to punch me. What does that sound like? What does that sound like? Sound like he's antagonizing him. I told you all. People act different when they think they have the leverage. You play certain high schools, you got to get rushed to the bus. Can't even go to the locker room. You play certain high schools, you getting threatened by people in the stands. They want to fight. Because you from the wrong neighborhood. And now black folks don't understand an athlete saying, leave my tent. Now all of a sudden it's white privilege. But what is it called when black folks shoot the school bus up? What's that called? Okay, white folks putting their hands on the person is white privilege. Okay, what is it called when the black folks shoot the school bus up? What's that called? Because that's beyond white privilege. What's that called? Black genocide? What's it called? Come on. And everybody from California know what I'm talking about. Everybody from California knows what happens after these sporting events from these rival schools. Everybody in California knows. Everybody knows it ain't uncommon, it's normal. Everybody knows. Matter of fact, you on the bus, we're going to have to fight today. Everybody knows. Everybody from California knows. Now all of a sudden black folks don't understand competition, being competitive. That boy told him, touch me and find out. And this is after he got his hand in his bag with his knife, premeditation. Then he says, I dare you to punch me. So he ups the ante. Y'all can act brand new, I'm not. Those are fighting words. Those are fighting words. You know it and I know it. Those are fighting words. Somebody come in the gym and say, man, I dare somebody to touch me. It ain't gonna happen. You can pick a random gym in America, a black one, and somebody walk in that door and say, I dare somebody to touch me. What do you think gonna happen? What do you think gonna happen? Let's continue, man.
I don't care about conservative tribal outrage. And then he posted a screenshot of the police report. Now, just the other day, I dropped a full video breaking down the entire police report. Go check it out. Man, they going crazy in the comment section. Oh, man, they mad. We're going to go through some of them comments later on in this video. Oh, man, they so mad. But like I said, their narrative that they set at the beginning, you know, the innocent church boy going down to play at the park and he got stabbed by the black savage, that narrative crumbled immediately once we got more information. When it was found out that Austin, the victim, unfortunately, he was the aggressor, and the suspect, he was actually the one playing defense. Now, I'm going to get into the...
Carmelo Anthony was the aggressor. And I'm going to tell you why. Because he stuck his hand in his bag. That is a sign of aggression. All Metcalf did was talk to him at that point. Carmelo was the one to initiate the first action by putting his hand on that knife in his bag. He was the aggressor. Me telling you to leave is not aggression. Me telling you to leave my tent is not aggression. Aggression is me putting my hand on my knife saying, make me. That's aggression. Listen, I can say, get out my way. I can say, scoot over. You on my grass. You under my tent. You by my car. I can say all that. The aggressive part is you putting your knife on your hand on your knife and you saying, make me. That's aggressive. We just read the police report. That's aggressive. Y'all can be dumb. I'm not going to be dumb with you.
Clip, I'll be right back.
Hey, if you live in one of these cities right here,
I'm not going to be dumb with you.
What is it? Nothing matters but this. He was at a school event at the wrong team's tent with a knife. He clearly chose murder than to walk away, cut and dry here. Nope, wrong. Imagine you are invited to a party at someone else's house and you are legally carrying a firearm. And then a fight breaks out and or like an altercation breaks out between you and some guy and, there's drinking involved or whatever. I'm not trying to make a 1-for-1 scenario. I'm trying to create a potential scenario separate from this one with similarities. You go to a party. Let's say you go to a party. And some guy starts saying stuff like, yo, man, get out of here. And you're like, I can do what I want. I was invited to the party. Verbal altercation escalates. And then the dude, you're standing there and you pull your sweater back and you've got a gun. You put your hand up and say, don't come close to me, bro. I'm warning you right now. Do not come close. Do not take another step. Then the guy grabs your arm and makes a move. So you draw your weapon and you use it. Okay, make the argument. You have no right to defend yourself when you're being attacked by a guy. Make the argument. By all means, go ahead and do so. I ain't going to do it.
So, man, y'all do know that Tim Pool is he's liberal, right? He's a beta. We know this about Tim Pool. The scenario he's giving is totally different from what actually happened. You are not allowed to bring weapons to school. So now put the scenario in a situation where they're at a school and the guy tells the parent to leave the school. And the guy, two parents at the school, they get a heated verbal altercation. The one parent says, listen, man, get out of here. The other guy says, make me. And then shows him his gun. Now, at that moment, we got a standoff because I don't know what you're going to do with the gun, and I don't know what you're going to do without the gun. The aggression isn't the conversation. The aggression is showing that gun. Now, his scenario is, I put my hands up and I say, don't come any closer. Then you put your hand up and I grab your hand. Now we're in the school. There are no guns allowed in the school, but you got a gun. So if you break the law to do something, is it still self-defense? You're not supposed to have a gun on the campus. Y'all were supposed to duke it out. What if he flashed that gun and I got PTSD? What if he flashed that gun and I've been shot before? What if he flashed that gun and I got some trauma? My uncle always told me, if you're going to pull out a gun, you better use it. Because showing a weapon ups the ante. So at the end of the day, what Tim Pool is doing is a whole different scenario. You in my house is different than us being at public property. You in my house and I tell you to leave, you're now an intruder. And you want to fight me, you're an aggressive intruder. That's not what happened here. These are children at a track meet. One child says, go to your own tent. The other child says, puts his hand on the knife and says, make me. Totally different scenario. That ain't self-defense. That's not self-defense. Then he says, I dare you to punch me. That's not self-defense. That's antagonizing. That's premeditation. It's no different than somebody walking in the gym and saying, man, y'all all soft in here. What do you think's going to happen? Think about what I'm telling you. Somebody walks in the gym and says, y'all are all soft in here. What do you think's going to happen? He didn't threaten nobody. What do you think's going to happen? I was in the gym one time, and at LA Fitness, when there's these groups of random black guys coming to the gym and they're not regulars, they're there to steal. The non-regular guys that come to the gyms that are hoopers, they come in to hoop. But these guys be in the gym, lingering around, shooting around, not really playing, they come in to steal. So this day in particular, it was a Friday. We were playing ball on Friday evening, and these guys are in the gym, and then they leave. This dude comes in the gym, and he closes the door behind him. He pulls his gun out, and he said, who got my phone? Now, when he said, who got my phone, everybody was like, huh? He said, man, I came over here from Atlantic Station. He said, I got here, and I think he said 10 minutes. He said, who got my phone? He said, y'all give me my phone. I promise I'll be cool. I'll leave. So everybody like, man, we ain't got your phone. So then one dude went this bag and said, man, my phone is gone. Somebody else said, my phone is gone. Somebody else said, so people in the gym had their phone taken too. But dude with the gun, he wasn't trying to hear it. So I'm like, man, let me get behind him. So I done slid behind him, because I ain't finna be in front of him, because I just know somebody will do something stupid. So now I said, let me slide. So I'm behind him by the door so I can get up out of there. So then I said, hey, man, listen. I said, I think it was the guys that was here earlier. They left listen, these folks had literally just left, like minutes before he got there, because he said he was tracking his phone on his other phone. So anyway, my point is, I say, listen, man, those guys just left. There's about 5 of them. They just left, man. I promise you, they just left. And then so the girl from the front desk was coming. I said, listen, I said, oh, girl come from the front desk. She gonna call the police. He was like, all right. So then he put his gun up and he said, all right. I said, I promise they just left, dog. I said, nobody here stole, dog. We was all playing basketball. I said, trust me. So dude was cool and he left. I think he spoke with her at the front desk. He spoke with her, but he left. Now, one dude said, man, I was finna punch him. That's what he said. He said, I was getting in position so I'll be able to hit him again. Why? Because he said in these situations, somebody usually gets shot because he's upset, he's angry. Listen what I'm saying. The guy didn't threaten anybody. What he said was, who got my phone? But he had that gun out. So now you putting everybody on high alert. Even me, I'm getting behind him just in case. And the other guy on the side get it just in case. We don't know what you're going to do. So what I'm saying, when you pull that gun out, when you grab that weapon, it ups the ante. It changes everything, because that is a threatening gesture. That is a threatening gesture to put your hand on your weapon. Because the person is going to figure out either A, I got to trust you're not going to use it, or B, how can I get it from you? Those are the true things going to somebody's mind. I'm not trying to get stabbed or shot, so what can I do to not get stabbed or shot? And when somebody has a weapon and they angry and ready to go, you don't know what they're going to do. Luckily, dude left. I talked to him, and dude left. I spoke with a girl at the front desk. But dude was like, man, I was finna punch him. I was finna knock him out. And I was like, oh, my goodness. So again, what I'm saying is that the scenario that Tim Pool gave is trash. It's horrible.
I don't know the circumstances. You can argue that you're in a place you're not supposed to be. You can argue it's that guy's house, and it doesn't matter. A guy can invite you into your neighbor could be like, come on over, brother. And then if he gets physical with you, you can defend yourself. Okay, make the argument you have no right to defend yourself when you're being attacked by a guy. Make the argument. By all means, go ahead and do so. I ain't going to do it.
All right,
So I'll make the argument. The argument is, I'm in my house. You come to my house. You have the gun. I tell you to get out of my house. And you tell me, make me. Now you have a bag. I don't know what's in your bag, but your hand's in your bag and you tell me to make me. Then I'm thinking about it. I say, man, get out. Then you say, I dare you to punch me. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think? See, the scenario that Tim Pool gave was a libtard, beta simp cuck example. I'm giving you the real example. I invite you, you come to my house, I have a party, you come to my house uninvited. I tell you to leave, you tell me to make you. That's the aggression. Me telling you to leave isn't aggression. You telling me to make you is the aggression because that's the threat. Because then I'm going to say, or what? And you're going to say, I dare you to hit me. And then I approach you, you kill me, you shoot me. That's what happened. That's what happened. And Neek said, why are you showing up somewhere uninvited? Tim Pool is foolish. Tim Pool is foolish. Let's continue. Let's continue. Where is my other? Where's my other one? Oh, I don't have it. No. No. Oh man. I gotta play it on my part 2 then. Oh my goodness. Oh, shoot. Man, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. Oh no, here it goes. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry.
Kyle Rittenhouse, after he killed 2 people in cold blood, he raised over $1 million. Wait a minute.
Let's
the
talk about
officer
that.
who killed Michael Brown, he raised almost $2 million. So don't tell me that when black folks decide to put money and support behind a young brother who didn't start a fight, who didn't threaten nobody, who was sitting where he could have right to be sitting, was threatened more than one time, was physically attacked, he defends himself, and then all of a sudden he's in jail for murder. But guess what, brother? We gonna stand behind ours like you white folks stand behind yours.
Okay, let me
that
be
young
clear.
brother was attacked.
I know you're
He
yelling
defended
because
himself.
you really get worked
No, we
up
sick
when
and
you're
tired of
lying.
this bullshit.
But let me say,
of y'all
let me say
killing
very
us.
clear.
But then it's
okay.
justified.
Us killing
but
y'all.
when we defend
Okay.
ourselves,
Now,
it's murder.
I told you that the black grievance is unrighteous. It's an unrighteous grievance. It's unrighteous. Listen what he said. We gonna stand behind ours like y'all stand behind yours. As if white folks don't go to prison. As if white folks ain't on death row. As if white folks don't get life. Like people, black folks act like white folks aren't in. Have y'all ever been to a prison? Have y'all ever seen this? Like I'm asking. Because y'all are very delusional about how prison looks. Again, he brought up Kyle Rittenhouse. Black people were upset that Kyle Rittenhouse did not get killed. The guy testified that he was about to shoot Kyle Rittenhouse. He's about to kill him. So what you're saying is you wanted him to die. I told you the black grievance is unrighteous. You are not supporting this young man because you believe that he's right. You're supporting Carmelo Anthony because of what you believe that white folks are getting away with. It's an unrighteous stance. You're not standing with him because you believe that he's right. You believe that white folks get away with it. That's why you're standing with him. And that's what makes it ungodly. James 2:9 says, but if ye have respect to persons, ye commit sin and are convinced of the law as transgressors. Once you all start doing stuff like picking and choosing because they black, because they white, you already in sin. That is a sinful act to say that this person should be able to do it because they're black and they should be able to do it because they're white. You already in sin. You are already in sin. And they keep bringing up Kyle Rittenhouse because they didn't watch the trial. They don't have any facts. Went by the media. First Peter 2:16, live as people who are free, not using your freedom as a cover-up for evil, but living as servants of God. First Peter 2:16, live as people who are free, not using your freedom as a cover-up for evil, but living as servants to God. How many of these people prayed before they commented on Carmelo and Austin? How many people went to the Holy Spirit and talked about Carmelo and Austin? How many folks prayed about it? How many folks asked God about it? How many? What black people are doing is ungodly. They are not supporting Carmelo Anthony because they care. They don't care about him. They don't care about Carmelo Anthony. They don't. They want to be right. It's pride. They want to be right. It's pride. Thank you, Cruise Missile, for the super sticker. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Always support me. Thank you. Rechurch. Why do they have to misstate facts so hard? He was in other team's tent, not in his seat. Exactly. Thank you, Rechurch. He wasn't. And again, if you're so afraid, why go to that tent though? Nobody wants to ask the question, why that tent? The boy got stabbed and said he didn't know him. So maybe he didn't know him. So can you imagine some guy coming to y'all tent, you don't know him? Who are you? Thank you, CC777. Think about that. Think about somebody coming to your tent and you don't know them. And they say, who are you? And you say, what do you think Karmelo said? I'm Carmelo Anthony. How you doing? Nice to meet you. How do you think Carmelo Anthony responded to being questioned? Oh, my bad, y'all. I'm just here because it's raining. My bad, y'all. Matter of fact, hold on one second. Before I forget, let me just go ahead and put it right now. Let me do it right now. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I almost forgot. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I got something on Monday, though. But I'm going to play this right now, though. I got something on Monday, but I'm sorry. Hold on. No.
News. A witness in the Carmelo Anthony murder case came forward to make a statement, and we missed a lot about the whole incident. At the time of the incident, there should have been many students around. Let's listen to what he said.
It was raining. It got rained out like crazy bad. Everybody trying to get back to their cars or get in, places where they, wouldn't get all extra wet. Dude was sitting up under the tent, right? He was on his phone, right? My daughters was up under the same goddamn tent. Yeah. So I'm paying attention to my kids, but at the same time, they're in the same vicinity. So I'm watching everything going on around it because I'm there for my children. So dude walks up. McKellen, bro, he wasn't even under the tent at the time. They came from a whole separate tent and walked over there. They intentionally went over there to this kid, man. Dude was sitting there on his phone just trying to get dry. You feel me? One thing went from another. They grabbed this man and they tried to punch on dude. Dude went in his bag and whatever. They went to try to jump this dude and punch on this dude, man. And he protected himself, dude. That's what happened. Yeah. It wasn't just one. It was both of them, bro. Austin, the dude that got unalive, and his brother physically went over there to intentionally. It's not to the point that he brought a knife. For one, it wasn't on school property. The school is at least 5 to 10 miles away. It was community track meet, bruh. It wasn't a school track meet.
Okay. Now, I want to break down what this witness said. And this is how it works in court. In a regular court hearing, this witness just spoke. Now I'm about to cross-examine.
Breaking news. A witness in the Carmelo Anthony murder case came forward to make a statement, and we missed a lot about the whole incident. At the time of the incident, there should have been many students around. Let's listen to what he said.
It was raining. It got rained out like crazy bad. Everybody trying to get back to their cars or get in, places where they, wouldn't get all extra wet.
So he said it was raining. So track meet canceled. It's raining. Folks are going to their cars. Folks are going, he said, to get anywhere where they can be dry. Pay attention. He said that it's raining hard and that everybody's scattering, trying to either go to their cars or somewhere they can get dry.
Dude was sitting up under the tent, right? He was on his phone, right? My daughters was up under the same goddamn tent. Yeah. So I'm paying attention to my kids, but at the same time, they're in the same vicinity. So I'm watching everything going on around it because I'm there for my children. So dude walks up. McKellen, bro, he wasn't even under the tent at the time. They came from a whole separate tent and walked over there.
So he just said that people were trying to get out of the rain. So why wouldn't the Metcalf twins be going to their tent, their high school team's tent, to get out of the rain? He just said that people were trying to get out of the rain. So how is he saying that their intent is different? So let me get this straight. You're saying that everybody else was trying to get out of the rain, including Carmelo Anthony. But out of everybody at the track meet, these two twins were trying to get him. They didn't care about the rain. So they were going to the tent to get him, not to get out of the rain. How do you know that, sir? Explain to me, sir, how you know their intent for going to the tent if it's their school tent. Everybody else's intent was it was raining. So why is their intent different? Okay, let's continue.
They intentionally went over there to this kid, man. Dude was sitting there on his phone just trying to get dry. You feel me?
So they intentionally went to the tent not to get out of the rain like everybody else. Everybody else in the stadium was trying to get out of the rain except these two twins. They didn't care about the rain. They wanted Carmelo Anthony. That's what he's saying. So Carmelo Anthony is sitting there on his phone, minding his own business, and these guys, they don't care about the rain. They coming to get him.
Thing went from another. They grabbed this man and they tried to punch on dude. Dude went in his bag and what? They went to try to jump this dude and punch on this dude, man.
Now I'm gonna ask you a question, sir. You said they tried to punch on him. They tried to jump him. My question is, sir, did they punch him and did they jump him? That's yes or no. Because how do you determine what a try is? What is a try to punch? What is a try to jump? Sir, what is a try to jump? What is a try to punch? Did they punch him or did they jump him? Yes or no? Okay. So you don't know. Because he's saying they tried to. How does someone try to punch you? Did they swing and miss? How does someone try to punch you? Do they swing and miss? How did they try to grab you and miss? If they tried to punch you, that means they swung at you and they missed. If they tried to jump you, that means they tried to grab you or punch you and they missed. So if they missed him with the punch and missed him with the jump, then why'd he stab him? Let's continue.
And he protected himself, dude. That's what happened. Yeah. It wasn't just one. It was both of them, bro. Austin, that dude that got unalive, and his brother physically went over there to intentionally. He had a...
They physically went over there to intentionally. Did they do it or not? Trying to jump, trying to punch, intentionally. Did they touch the boy? Yes or no? Why can't this witness, this eyewitness, give us a definite answer?
It's not to the point that he brought a knife. For one, it wasn't on school property. The school is at least 5 to 10 miles away. It was community track meet, bro.
I guarantee that community track meet says no weapons. I guarantee that community track is going to be no weapons. The same rules apply. No drugs, no weapons. Same rules as a school.
Wasn't a school track meet.
So the reason why this guy can't give a definite answer is because he's lying. The reason why he can't just say they punched him, they grabbed him, they jumped him, because he's lying. He said they tried to punch him. They tried to jump him. What does that even mean? He's lying. This is why I tell you all that black people lie. Because black people's goal is to be right. It's not justice. It's not the facts. It ain't truth. Black folks want to be in the right when they're wrong. Black people lie. What this man just said makes absolutely no sense. You mean to tell me there are no defensive wounds on these twins? There's not a cut, nothing. Thank you, right-wing Rico. The jab was the world's self-defense against the black community. I agree. It didn't work, though. Thank you. It didn't work. It didn't work. They took it, but it didn't work. Rittenhouse was being chased by adult pedophiles trying to take his life. That boy wasn't trying to take Karmelo's life. Stop the comparison. It's true. They weren't. They were not trying to kill that boy. They weren't. Thank you, right-wing Rico. Thank you, CC777. Thank you so much. Willie Doc. Isn't it also odd that none of your heavy hitters like Al Sharpton, Ben Crumb, Jesse Jackson haven't been capping up for Karmelo? You know why? Because they know. Anybody I've been doing this for 5 years. And the one thing I've learned is when black people are outraged about something, it's not true. I've been doing this for 5 years. And the one thing I know that's consistent is if black people are outraged about something, it's not true. Black people only get outraged at lies. They never get outraged at the truth. They reject that. Black people reject the truth. The lies entertain, but the truth convicts. So black people will avoid conviction at all costs. They'll run to entertainment. They love lies, but they don't like the truth because the truth comes with conviction. Thank you so much, Willie Doc. Right-wing Rico. Black people's argument is that black kids should be able to bring weapons to school to fight white supremacy. Just ask them. They are okay with weapons. Right-wing Rico is 100% correct. I'm reading it again. Black people's argument is that all black kids should be able to bring weapons to school to fight white supremacy. Just ask them. They are okay with weapons. That is a factual statement. And we all know that's true. It's true. Thank you again, right-wing Rico. Idris Singleton, thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank you so much, sir. Right-wing Rico again, thank you so much. Karmelo was probably caught stealing from the bags under their tent, got mad because he got caught, and that's why he had the weapon. He's probably caught trying to steal from the white kids' bags. It's possible. I don't know. I know one thing. Thank you, right-wing Rico. I know one thing. When people are lingering around somewhere they don't belong, it's nothing good. I gave you all the gym scenario. The gym scenario is when we're playing basketball and these guys come in and they're not playing it around, they're just shooting around and wandering around and they come in to steal. Like, you know when folks are up to no good. You just know it. So, again, me asking you to leave the tent is not aggression. It's not violence. You putting your hand on the weapon and telling me, I dare you to touch me. I dare you to punch me. Come find out. Like, that's a threat. I done seen this game 1,000 times. Anybody being somewhere they're not supposed to be is never good. Why are you up under somebody else's tent with a knife? I want to thank Angel Wings for moderating tonight. Thank you so much. I want to thank Agadas Navi for moderating tonight. Thank you so much. I will be back on Monday to do part 2. Listen, I love y'all. Thank y'all so much. We y'all to have a blessed evening. And what happened to these kids are tragic. It's horrible. It's horrific. It shouldn't be about race at all. But unfortunately, that's what the media wants. And everyone's going to play the game. That's what it is. Now I guarantee if black spokespeople came out and said, listen, this is not about race, I guarantee the white conservatives will have a whole different dialogue. Guarantee it. If black people come out and say, we're not falling for it this time, this is not about race, I guarantee the white conservatives have a whole different conversation. I guarantee they say thank you. This race is being perpetuated by black people, period. I guarantee no white conservative has a problem with anybody saying it's not about race, it's a tragic event. I guarantee nobody has a problem with that. They have a problem with the media making this about race. And black people who watch 40% more media than any other group in the world running with it. That's the issue. The elephant in the room is that the black mind is controlled by the media, and they have data to prove it. When black people were polled and asked what they wanted to see in media more, you know what they said? They didn't say less propaganda. They didn't say less programming. They said we want to see more black people on TV and in movies and in media. They wanted more. Listen, I love y'all. My bad, goddess. I will let y'all ask the questions on Monday. I'm sorry. Because I'm already at 2 hours. I'm sorry, y'all. Listen, I love y'all, and I want y'all to have a great evening. Thank y'all. I love y'all.